Hey y'all, you are tuned in to season 2 of the Powerhouse Lash podcast. This podcast is my diary to the Lash community, where I share my highs, lows, lessons, rants, all things based on my journey as a lash artist. My heart is to share the reality of what it's really like to build a lash business, and I hope that these episodes help you feel seen, validated, educated, humored, and make your journey a little bit easier. I'm your host, T the Brand, and I'm glad you're here. Now let's get to it. Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Powerhouse Lash podcast. I'm your host, T the Brand, and I am glad that you are here. Today I'm feeling really good, really excited and hopeful, all the things. Yesterday, my mentees and I had our first masterclass. So each month in the mentorship program, they receive 2 one-on-one calls. And during those one-on-one calls, we check in, we check progress, I hold them accountable, I give advice, they ask their questions, we talk about fears, and just implement some practical things that can help them move their businesses forward. So far, one of my mentees has booked 4 clients in the last within 2 weeks. She booked 4 new clients, and then the other mentee, she just get your thoughts together, girl. She just selected her logo for her rebrand, so she's getting ready to relaunch her product line, and I cannot wait because her products are amazing. I've been using them for like a year or so now, and I ain't gonna tell her business, but I'm gonna let her tell it and let her show it when it's time. So I'm very proud of them. Our masterclass yesterday, we covered just some things on Instagram, talked about what should be in our bios and just important stuff to help us bring our target audience to us. Also, diving into some Instagram analytics, showing them some things to help them know when to post, what to post, and just be able to track their progress, to know if their content is actually reaching their target audience or not. They said it was very helpful, so that means a lot to me. I'm glad that this partnership with them is working and is moving for them. So I want to jump into a topic that is important to all of us as business owners, and that's being fully booked. Like, if you ain't trying to be fully booked, what are you doing? So I've experienced not being fully booked, being barely booked, being fully booked, and everything in between. I think those are all the different stages of being booked, but all of the phases of being booked or not having clients. I've experienced that. And so I just want to share some insight and give some advice on how you can be fully booked. So one of the first things that I want to talk about or give some advice on is the way that our schedules are set up. If you have a lot of gaps in your schedule, you're going to feel like you aren't getting enough clients or you don't have enough clientele. Seeing those schedule gaps, and when I say a schedule gap, I mean if you have like a client at 9 a.m. and then your next one is until like 2:00. Okay, all that time in between the appointment being over at about 10:30, 11:00 to 2:00, that could have been a time slot for somebody else to get in. And so having those open times like that and all the gaps in your schedule, it does make it hard for you to see progress and for you to see that things are filling up. That's when we end up having to, try to post and, oh, I got this available this week, and, just try to make it work. And there's nothing wrong with posting about your availability. But that's just an extra step that, you may not have to take if you were to move your schedule around. So last year, that was one of the issues that I had with my schedule. I just had let me not say last year, I'll say 2021. I just had an open schedule. So my hours were, I don't remember exactly, but let's just say they were 9 to 3 or 9 to 5. So within that time range, clients could schedule whenever they wanted. So if you wanted a 10:45 appointment or a 10:15 appointment, that means I can't take anybody at 9 who may have needed that time. Or if you schedule just any random time throughout the day, it throws the day off and it leaves gaps and it leaves just unused time or wasted time that could have been set for an appointment. And so I know last year, I think 2022, my schedule was pretty open like that as well. And I just didn't like it at all. So I decided for 2023, I would have specific time slots that clients could book for. So for example, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, my day doesn't start until 1:00. So I have a 1:00, a 3:00, and a 5:00 appointment available. And then on Wednesdays and Fridays, I start at 9. So I take a 9, an 11, and a 1:00 appointment. And then on Saturdays, I have an 8, a 10, and a 12. myself. This way, it helps me minimize gaps. And if I do end up having someone who books my first and my last appointment, it's not a huge chunk of time in the day that is just being wasted. It's probably like an hour or two, which is great because I can record for YouTube or record a podcast, batch some reels, take a nap, just, eat. Okay, make sure y'all are eating, okay? Eat and drink your water. It does not help you to be exhausted and dehydrated. Your brain starts tripping, your hands start tripping, your eyes get crossed, you're exhausted. Don't do that to yourself. Make sure that you take care of yourself. If you want longevity in the lash industry, in whatever industry that you're in, you have to take care of yourself. You have to build in breaks. Between my appointment times, I have 30-minute windows set up. That way I can stretch, I can sit down, I can drink some water, I can eat a snack, I can eat a meal. I just have time built in the day to take care of me because I'm not a good service provider and I'm not a good person to myself if I'm not taking care of me. So that went down the rabbit hole, but take care of yourself. Okay, so I put those specific times in on my calendar, and those are the only times you can book for. You can't book for a 9:30 appointment because that's going to cut into my next appointment. So yeah, that helped me kind of cut down schedule gap. Well, not kind of, but it definitely helped me cut down schedule gaps and be more productive within my day. So moving on to the next thing, and this is a huge one. This is probably the hugest reason why a lot of people are not fully booked. And that's because you haven't defined what fully booked look like for you. So some people just have an open schedule, again, using like the 9 to 3 example. Your schedule is just open. And if you don't have every single appointment available within every single appointment that could be booked in that time frame, if you don't have it booked, then you start to feel like I'm not fully booked or this, that, and getting down on yourself because you feel like you don't have enough clients. But again, if you were to minimize those schedule gaps, but also define what fully booked looks like for you, it would help you out so much. And this is something that I had to learn in the latter part of 2022. So fully booked for me is based off of two things. It's based off of how many appointments I have available for the week, and it's also or the month, and it's also based off of my income goal. So if I have, let's just say, an income goal of think of a number. Let's just say $6,000. And if your brain cannot stretch to $6,000, keep going and keep growing. Keep learning. Keep implementing things that will help your business grow. Keep investing in knowledge, read books, take classes, everything that you can do to expand your knowledge base so that you can start to see, okay, I can make $500 a month on lashes and I can make $2,000 a month on the more you do, the further you go, the more you grow, the more you can see. So don't close your mind off to $6,000 a month. So let's just say my goal is $6,000 a month. So I know that with that, if I break 6,000 down by 4 weeks, I know I need to make $1,500 a week. Okay. With $1,500 a week, I divide that by how many days I work, and I work 5 days a week. So that puts me at $300 a day. So I need to make $300 a day in order to reach $1,500 a week and be fully booked for that week. So this is going down. This is doing a whole thing. Okay, so you would base your prices. You would put your price point at a place or a range to help you achieve that goal. That's not what we're talking about, though. We're not talking about pricing. So that is how I'm able to define if I was fully booked or not for the week. So like I said, each day I have 3 appointment slots available, and that's 15 appointments available for the week. Now, if I end up getting a full set, if I have a full set, my first or my second appointment, then I'm only able to take 2 people a day because the full set time cuts into the following appointment. But if I have a full set that's at the last appointment of the day, I can still do 2 fills and a full set that day. So it just really kind of depends. So that's kind of how I've determined if I'm fully booked or not. If all of those appointments are filled, I'm fully booked. If I made the $300 a day and only did 2 people because I had a full set in the field, I was fully booked that day. If I hit the money goal, I'm fully booked. So you need to define what being fully booked look like to you. If fully booked means from 9 to 3, you working hard, then baby, work hard. I'm not doing that. I want to work smarter and not harder. I ain't saying like I've reached a place in my lash career. I don't feel like you ever arrive anywhere because there's always more to grow, more to learn, more to do. So disclaimer, that is not what I'm trying to put out into the earth, into your ears. But I do feel like the hustling part, I've done the hustling part of business, and I'm done hustling. I'm a builder, and I'm not going to stress myself out and try to make sure that every second of every day is filled with appointments. I'm not working super early mornings. Oh, except on Saturdays. The 8 o'clocks take me down, but they love them. My clients love them. And it makes the day go by faster too. But I'm not waking up early in the morning, and I'm not going to sleep late at night, and I'm not squeezing you in. I don't even have a squeeze in fee, because I will not squeeze you in. If it's not available, it's not available. And if you want to book with me, then book another day that's available. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's that on that. So you need to define what being fully booked looks like to you. This will help you from being disappointed when you're looking at your schedule and like, oh, I'm not fully booked, I'm not booked enough. You might be perfectly booked, but because you haven't put parameters in place to determine what that looks like for you, then you're just kind of going in circles and beating yourself up for nothing. So define what fully booked look like for you. And then my last little piece of advice on tips for being fully booked is be disciplined and consistent. You have to show up on social media. You have to show up and give your clients a nice customer experience. It doesn't matter how great you do eyelash extensions or whatever it is that you do. If you have a crappy customer experience, then your people are not going to come back, and people are not going to recommend you, and then you're in a space to where you're always looking for new clients. I don't look for well, let me not say I don't look for new clients, because I don't want to make it seem like I don't want new clients, I don't need new clients, because that is totally not true. But I have a strong clientele base. Like almost all, I want to say all of my clients are booked with their appointments through June. And that's because I built rapport with them. We have a really great relationship. And that's not like personal relationship necessarily. We have a nice professional relationship. They have a great experience when they come. Their lashes last long. Their eyes aren't hurting. Like all of the things are in place. So I have to always show up and make sure that I'm meeting their expectation and meeting the standard that I have set for my business. The same on Instagram. What you see on Instagram with how you hear me speak and how you see me just present how my lashes, everything is consistent. You're not going to get one thing on Instagram and then get to my space and it be a totally different vibe. No, you have to be consistent across the board, and you have to be disciplined, and you have to be committed. Does that mean that every day you gon' post all the things? No, some days you're not feeling creative. Some days you may not know what to post, and I'm gonna do a whole episode on not knowing what to post. But some days you may not know what to do, and you just may not have it, and that's okay. But sometimes, and there are periods of time where you gotta really get down and grind. 2021, 2022, I was like religiously posting 3 to 5 times a day, and I was also working like crazy, because at the time I was working in a spa. And so what I would do the night before, or either the morning up, when I got up the next morning, I would put all of my content together. I would create my reels and like totally do the reels. I would create them, I would edit them, I would do my voiceovers, do my caption, put the cover photo on there, and save it as a draft. And at the times that I needed to post, everything is already in Instagram for me. So I would just open my app, click post, keep lashing. And so you do have to put your head down sometimes and really grind and really, go in to make things move. But and that's okay. It's a part of the game. It's a part of the industry. It's a part of your job. You're a content creator, not just a service provider. So yeah, stay disciplined, stay consistent, and post valuable content. So I hope that this was helpful. I think the biggest thing that I can give from my tips on how to be fully booked is really just defining what fully booked look like for you. Once I determine what fully booked meant to me, it really changed the game. It helped my brain feel better, because I'm not feeling defeated or feeling like, I can't get enough clients in and blah, blah, blah. If I do have an appointment that goes on books, I'm not tripping, because for the most part, I can see that I'm pretty fully booked. So yeah, I hope that this helps you. If you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram at Powerhouse Lashes by TTB, or drop your comment in the comment section on the podcast. I do enjoy talking to y'all and helping however I can. So y'all have the day that you deserve. And again, I hope that this episode helps you grow. And I will see y'all in the next one.